What's going on guys, JC here and welcome to my old school RuneScape progress video. In the last episode, not counting the one where I got scammed of course, it was titled A Barrows Walkthrough for Dummies. Realistically, it was more of a progress video. So to recap, in the previous episode, I did a ton of quests, got a bunch of combat stats at Sandcrabs by doing absolutely nothing other than just AFK there while editing leak videos. I then attempted a run at Barrows with very low stats and suboptimal gear setup. Because everything leading up to that point could be completed in a relatively short time of less than 3 weeks, it is definitely time to introduce you guys to the meatiest part in a RuneScape account's lifetime, the mid to high level progress. So fast forward a little later, here is where my story begins. For the record, I spent just under 2 months playing on this account and I have reached level 99 combat and a total level of 1451 or more, depends on when I record this voiceover. Since the beginning of account creation, I have learned many small quirks to the game, such as world numbers being 1 to 94 in-game, but confusingly different in the login screen. For some odd reason, Jagex likes to confuse people by adding a 3 to every world number in the login screen, but hey, the more we know, right? So world 394 actually means world 94 when you are world hopping within the game. Another thing worth noting is that minigame teleports are amazing and can take you to so many key places absolutely free of charge, no requirements or items needed. It does not share a cooldown with your free home teleport to Lumbridge. Also, YouTube has a guide for literally everything in this game, from quests posted by SlayerMisk1 to skill training 1 to 99 guides by a ton of different YouTubers, so we are pretty lucky to have so much information available to us. So anyway, those were some of the things that I learned here and there while transitioning from a low level to a mid level account. I based mid level around 75 combat stats across the board, which requires 1 million EXP just to reach. This is unfortunately only 1/13 of the way there because in order to get level 99 in one particular skill, it takes 13 million experience points to reach 99. That is all the things I can think of for now. Oh, and also ran into some scammers, so I get donations from you guys, my viewers. Every now and then, I'm walking around looking like a very rich noob. Perfect target for scammers, right? What I learned is that do not trust anyone, do not trade away, stake, or drop any valuables that you do not want to lose. And I mean, that goes without saying, right? In the moment, it might seem, I don't know, the scammers like to mess with your mind. So anyways, when they ask you, no matter how safe you think you are or feel that you are safe doing so, just don't do it. They will always have an accomplice with them. They'll act like an innocent person that does not know the scammer. Also, do not help anybody. To this, you may ask, hey, but Jay, you're getting donations from people and you're suggesting not to help others, like what gives? So hear me out here. It was a recent small scam that someone pulled on me at the Grand Exchange. He will ask for help and naturally I would volunteer. So he would say, can you buy X item for me? I reached the buy limit and I just need 2,000 more of this particular item. Anyone that can help would be greatly appreciated. And he said that he will pay like this X amount extra just for helping out. So I go over to GE and grab about 500 of that item instead. I wanted to help out, but at the same time, I just can't help but feel that there was a chance that he could log out and just completely bamboozle me. So although I wouldn't care too much that he did so, what I did was I went out and bought the item that he requested. Guess what? He logged out right away. And little did I know that the item was actually slightly marked up. So it was probably his item. And the moment I purchased it, he logged out. And you know, I waited around like fletching for half an hour. He didn't come back. So obviously, I got scammed, which when I looked at it, I think he marked up the price by like 50% or something like that. So it was slightly outrageous, but it wasn't too much that it broke my bank or anything. But that's just so that you guys know. I also forgot to mention the accomplice. There was one other player that helped him buy 500 of that particular item, seemingly successfully, to make it seem like the scammer was legit. I knew it was an accomplice later because this same accomplice tried to pull the exact same scam the following day with a different item and a new friend. So moral of the story, even if you're trying to help people out, if you are investing even the tiniest amount into helping, just expect they'll run off with it and that you'll get scammed. So whether it's a small or large amount of money, just be careful out there. Anyways, back on topic. I kept training at Sandcrabs till I got all my combat stats to a baseline of 70. A group of people that watch my videos, and perhaps are still watching, please do comment below with who you are if you're seeing yourself in the upcoming clips. These guys joined my clan and decided to take me on my very first bossing experience. So seeing as it was my first time, I was given very basic instructions. Go buy this scroll and bring these robes with you. I got the items as instructed and followed Icy Lunaris into the snowy mountains. This is what happened. For those that are unfamiliar with this place, trekking through the mountains completely drains your run energy. And for those that do not play this game and are confused, don't worry, so was I. I've never been or heard of this place, let alone know where to run when I was dropped into this giant crowded room filled with monsters. I was under the impression that monsters in this dungeon would be unaggressive if I had those items I was told about earlier in my inventory. So I get attacked and I had no clue where to run. Not that my character could run in the first place. The place was just so messy. I was out of run energy, I was disoriented, and after dying and running back, I was told to wear the scroll and robes. Fair enough, but who in their right mind would ever think about wearing a scroll? Like, which equipment slot does this scroll even belong to? Apparently it was the quiver slot, but that took a lot of getting used to. Seriously, to me, this was a discovery bigger than Gragas's belly, more outrageous than Tyrex's gems. It was just an absolute foreign and bizarre concept to me. After a long while of figuring out where to stand safely, I was then told to kill a bunch of these goblins in order to progress further. At first, it was confusing. Apparently, all I had to do was pray range and attack the big dude. Seems easy enough. Little did I know, if I accidentally land the killing blow on said big dude, all the little guys would attack me and they hit pretty hard.
The mage. Pray mage. Pray mage.
Other than that, I started to get the hang of things in there. In all honesty, after a few kills, Bandos is a very boring boss to do. If you ever go there with a big group, just expect to get bored real quick. After spending about 4 hours at Bandos, we ended up calling it a day. No special loot was dropped, so we packed up and left. And for the record, those guys that took me to Bandos don't seem to play anymore as of making this video. Pretty sad. I wish they would come back now that my account can finally pull her own weight in the God Wars dungeon. Not too long after Bandos, Blunted and Carol took me to Dagnoth Kings for the first time, and guess what? Yup, I needed to pray mage while running through this super long cavern in order to survive and get to the boss. I really needed some clearer instructions in future bossing runs. Apart from that, the 3 bosses was a lot more engaging than Bandos. In fact, they were actually quite fun and interesting. The fight was definitely a lot more challenging, contrary to the Bandos raid. We had to switch between 3 combat styles while also switching between 3 protection prayers. I ended up staying alive in there for a few hours on my very first try before completely running out of supplies and teleporting out. The trip was a complete success. Seeing as both places didn't drop any high value loot, Dagnoth Kings definitely offered better money while being a ton of fun. Unfortunately, I have never gone bossing since, not because I didn't want to. It was a time when I started to focus on progressing my account further via questing and skilling. I definitely want to experience more God Wars dungeon bosses and even wilderness bosses if we can get a big enough group. Maybe eventually we can even raid Xeric's chambers once I reach a higher combat level. Shortly after my bossing experience, I did a whole bunch of quests, got my Barra's gloves, all while attempting and failing at the fight caves for that highly regarded fire cave. It wasn't easy because this entire instance takes about an hour, and if you fail at any point, you have to start all over. With my crappy internet, I also had to pray that nobody came home within the next hour, or else I won't be able to switch prayers, resulting in an instant death and wasting that entire hour of time and in-game supplies. Because of how long it takes just to reach the final boss, it becomes extremely nerve-wracking, and that's why a lot of people seem to fail at this boss. My advice is, besides staying calm, I found out, or rather what helped me defeat the boss was staying extremely focused on Jad the entire time while physically calling out the prayer that I needed to switch to. So this was the kill about after 3 tries, and also making sure that nobody was home. Mage. Mage. Range. Holy shit. Holy. I did it. Oh my god. Oh. After finally getting the cape, I went and grinded out a bunch of skills in order to complete more quests. Currently, I am sitting at exactly 201 quest points with these stats. I plan to train up Crafting, Slayer, and Hunter, with my next goal being Monkey Madness 2. Recently, I got Mauritania Hard Diaries done, and boy do I feel like a first-class citizen. Unlimited teleports to Burt de Rot for solid EXP tomes and bowstrings, free bone meals, 50% more runes from Barra's chest, Bone Crusher, which works super well with Slayer in the Catacombs of Kuren by giving you extra prayer points for every monster you kill instead of having to bury them. You actually can just kill the monster, it'll bury it for you, you'll recharge like 2 or 3 prayer points automatically. So my next next big goal would be to go for Quest Cape and getting all the hard diaries done. I also want to attempt Zulrah very soon. Once these goals are completed, I should be considered a high level account that has experienced almost everything other than Xerix Chambers and getting the Infernal Cape. Maybe one day I can get together a clan that can successfully run Xerix Chambers, but for now I need to work on reaching max level, which shouldn't take too long if I park my account at Nightmare Zone. For those that would like to play together or just simply want to chat, feel free to join my clan chat by typing in my username. It's open to public, so even if you make a brand new account, be sure to drop in and say hi. I hope you guys enjoyed my progress update video. My private chat will always be set to on, so feel free to add me. I will see you guys in the next video, but don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Till next time, cheers.